Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you are able to hear me.
Hey Bhaskar, morning.
Very good morning. Okay, so in the last session we talked about okay. So in the last session we talked about a list and list functions. We have come across it. Okay, and I'm also going to talk about the tuple and tuple functions. I'll just walk you through. And later that I'm going to take you through. I'm not going to talk about more details about the set and so on. If you're interested, you can just go through the documentation. So I'm going to talk about the conditional statements, how we can write the conditional statements as part of your Python. Okay, so that is one thing I wanted to talk. Here is my Python. Okay. So when you compare with the list is a mutable object. List is a mutable object, whereas tuple is immutable. Okay, so we cannot do the changes in the tuple. And tuple will be represented with the normal parenthesis. Okay, and that is how it is going to be there. A tuple is similar to list, except tuples are immutable, which means we cannot change the elements of the tuple once assigned. When do you want to change when you want to change them, basically, like if you wanted to change the tuple, convert that into list and then do changes and convert it back to tuple. So that is how we are going to have it in general if you wanted to change it. So tuple represents, this is an empty tuple here. It is going to give empty tuple. If it is a list, you can say list equals to something like this. In the same way, tuple, you're going to have a parenthesis. So there are few similarities and few differences we are having. You can just go through that. No one will ask you because you're not a Python developer to ask the differences between tuple and list. Okay, so both are advanced data types, and this is going to have an empty list. This is a empty tuple. So list can store multiple values, and tuple also can store multiple values. A list can store heterogeneous values, and this also can store heterogeneous values. I mean to say a different kind of data types you can store in the both list and tuple. And we can have a nested list and nested tuple, both are possible. And indexing and slicing will be possible, both the sides. And length can be fetched from the list and from tuple also. A list concatenation is possible and tuple concatenation is possible. These are all the similarities between the list and tuple. And the differences is the parenthesis is different. Here we have a square braces and here it is a normal parenthesis. And list is immutable and tuple is immutable. List methods and tuple methods are there, and we'll be having very less methods when you go for tuple. Okay, so note after execution of list methods, it will store the output automatically in the original object. So when you have a list, if you remember lst.append, we have come across it. Okay, so when you use list append, automatically the output of this is going to store in the original object. But when it comes to here, it is not going to store because it is not a mutable. It is a immutable. So since it is immutable, output cannot be affected your original object. You have to store in somewhere. Then only it is going to be possible. Okay, so that thing will be there. And here I'm just declaring the empty list. We are already aware of it. If you wanted to declare the empty list, you can use the list function, or you can use lst equals to empty square braces also will be possible to use it. Okay, so we can also declare it with square braces. In the same way, declaring the empty tuple, you can do the tuple declaration with empty parentheses. So this is a tuple here. I have a numbers, text, bool data type, float, and list also is there. So all those things I can keep it inside my tuple. Just observe. You can see. So this is the tuple only. So inside this tuple, I have a integer data types. I have a text data type, bool data type, float data type, list data type. So indexing will be same 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6. 6 positions are there. The number of items are 7 items are there. So that is what the length of the tuple. Okay, so nested tuple is possible. A tuple inside the tuple, you can keep it. So up to here it is same. I'm just adding 60 and 70 inside the tuple. So now it is going to have 8 items. So nested tuple is possible. And tuple indexing, you can take the indexing also if you wanted to take any place that you can take it. Let's say, for example, I wanted to take this position. So this is there with the 6. So if I say 6, then it is going to get the value. Let me show you. Print of tuple of. So you have to use the square braces to show the index or to keep the index. So I'm just going to take the tuple of 7, tuple of 6. You can see 40, 50 is coming. So whatever the position you wanted to take it, you can just take it with the help of indexing. Okay, so tuple concatenation, tuple replace. So using list, you can modify it. If you wanted to change that, you can change by using the list. But with the tuple, you cannot modify. Let me take one tuple here, one list first. Lst equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And I wanted to replace 10 with 100. Replace 10 with 100. So LST of 0 equals to 100. Now, if I say print of LST, here say print of LST. Before changing and after changing. So before changing and after changing, I'm just printing it, you can see. Before changing, it is a 10. After changing, it is a 100. If I wanted to do the same thing with a tuple, just observe, is that possible or not? So in place of this braces, I'm just going to set TPL. Let's say normal brace. So before changing, after changing, just try. So tuple object does not support item assignment. That means this is getting an error. So it is not possible to modify it. So tuple object does not support item assignment if you wanted to assign it. So if the requirement demands to change it, what you have to do is, if I wanted to change this tuple, change the tuple to a list. So to change the tuple to list is, you can use L1 equals to, just take the different names. So list of TPL. Now if you print, what is there inside this, comma type of L1. You can see it is a list now. It is converted into list. Once it is converted into list, what I wanted to do is I wanted to modify it. So L1 of 0 equals to 100. Then if I say print of L1, you're going to have 100. Now this one I wanted to convert into tuple. To convert that into tuple, TPL equals to tuple of L1. Now I'm just going to print this back. You can see. So here I'm just going to print even address of ID of tuple. So this address will be different and this address will be different. After changing the tuple and ID of tuple. So addresses will be different, we can see. Okay, so you're not keeping in the same object. You're thinking that you're updating that, but no, it is having in a different address. Okay, so if you wanted to change it, we can change the tuple, but it is not going to modify existed tuple because it is immutable. It is not possible to do it. You're just recreating a new object. Okay, so that is how we can have it. And tuple functions are there. If you wanted to count how many times that is occurred, then you can use the same count, tuple count, and even we came across the list count also. And tuple index, positive index number of the first occurrence of the item. Like by using index, we got it right. So in the same way here also, you can just cross verify. So converting from a tuple to list, we have seen. So delete is same. Delete, you can use it for anything. Del, you can use any variable name. Even if I say a equals to 100, if I say del a, then it is going to be removed. Okay, so del is going to be removed. And that is what I'm just trying. So deleting entire the tuple. So you can remove simply del will be used to remove the table. Del will be used to remove the variable. That variable may be fundamental data type, or that variable may be even collection data type. So whatever the data type it is going to be removed. Okay, so that's more enough for the tuple because tuple is not having more flexibility in order to do operations because it is a immutable. And if you wanted to do any operation, then convert that into list and you just do the operations. Now I wanted to talk about control statements. I wanted to talk about control statements. I'll just give a brief idea about it. You can understand, but I don't want to go a little more deeper because I have written in a different way for Python perspective. But if you're interested, this note is available. You can go through that. So generally, if you remember in the data factory, we came across with if condition activity. If condition activity. So this is a gatekeeper. It is just going to check the condition. You're writing a condition, a greater than b or a greater than 10. So if the condition is satisfied, then only it is going to have a two blocks, right? We will be having a true block and we will be having a false block. We came across it. So in the true, if the condition is satisfied, in the true side, you are doing something. In the, if condition is failed, then it comes into the false block and you're doing something in the false block. So the same to same in the Databricks also, we're having a conditional statements. Okay, so here in Data Factory, we have a only if condition and switch is there. Switch activity is there, right? So that is a multiple, like, if else statements it is going to support. Here you're also going to have a while loop and for loop also we are going to have. For loop, we have a loops are different and conditional statements are different. These two are the loops. And equivalent to for this in Data Factory, we have a for each activity. So for each activity, we came across it. So these statements are used to call it as a conditional statements or control flow statements in the Python. So these are all common for wherever you go. Wherever you go, you're going to have it. So only if is there and if else is there. When it comes to the Data Factory, this if condition is always going to have a if else. These two will be there. And if you wanted to go for nested if else or nested if, then equivalent to this, we are having switch activity. Okay. And keep in mind, when you have any tool with user interface, most of the things will be possible, but not everything. But when you have a coding, everything is possible. Whatever you wanted to do, you can do it. But with UI, most of the things will be possible. Okay, so that difference you have to keep in mind. And do not try to do whatever we can do with the coding. If you try to do it with the Data Factory, you may not achieve that. And the block of the code basically is going to be executed depends on the condition. So the block, basically what we can say, let's say a greater than 10, then I wanted to execute some block of the code. In the else block, I wanted to execute some other block of the code. But when you go for Java.NET, we will be having these braces and we will be having the code here. Okay, so that is a block. But when it comes to the Python, Python is not going to have these blocks. We are going to have an indentation. We are going to have an indentation to say that is a block. Okay, so the code that is executed when the specific condition is met is defined as a block. So that is what it is. If this condition is satisfied, if I say this block of the code is going to be executed, then we can say it is a block. Else, I wanted to execute this set of the block. Okay, so in Data Factory, we have a feasibility to keep the activities. Here also the same thing. The lines of the code is going to be there. So the block is going to be represented with the colon. Let's say a greater than 10 colon, you have to use it. So when you use this colon, what happens is the cursor will come to the one indentation. So one indentation is equivalent to 4 spaces. You have to follow that. Only that comes under the based on practice. Mostly it is going to take perfectly. Sometimes you have to adjust it as per your requirement. Okay, so that is what I'm saying. The statements preceding blocks generally ends with the colon. And in Python, the block structure is generally is signalized by the changing the indentation. You can see the indentation. Each line of the code in a certain block level must be indented equally and indented more than surrounded four spaces is going to be there. We'll see that. That is what it is. 4 spaces. I just kept it here. We'll see. Just observe. Ten greater than 5. colon. When I say colon, it is going to be there here. You can see. If I don't have the colon, it is going to be cursor is there exactly underneath this one. But if I give a colon, then it is not there in the same place. It is there in a different place. So I wanted to say print true. Else, I wanted to say print false. So 10 greater than 5. If is missing. If 10 greater than 5, then it is going to get, how can I say true? If I say 4, then it is going to execute the false block. So this indentation is the right. This is going to be 4 spaces are going to be there. Okay, 4 spaces. So that is what I'm just trying to say here. I have given here. Condition can be based on the comparison. So you can use logical operators also to frame the condition. We already know about all these things. I don't need to explain about it. And we can use the membership operators, identity operators. Okay, so simply I can say comparison operators like A equals to B, A greater than B, all those things we are going to have. And condition you're going to specify, then colon, then block of the code, you're going to have it. So if the condition is satisfied, then it is going to be executed, else it is not going to be executed. I mean to say else block will be executed if you have a else block. If you don't have a else block, then it is not going to execute. If I say 5 equals to 5, then if it is true, then a name will be printed. If I say 6 here, then it is not going to execute. So that is going to be executed only if you have a else block. If I have a else block, then only it is going to be executed. So like this, I have a varieties of the operators I have taken. You can just try for this. Now what I will do is, I wanted to take you through comparison operator. Most of you are already aware of it. I'm just going to take A equals to 10, B equals to 20. If before going to the if statements, let me give print of A comma B. So now I wanted to apply, let's go with first arithmetic operators, then we'll come to this. Let me say A plus B, A minus B, A multiplied B, and A divided by B, and A modulus B. So all these operations I'm just going to show you here. Let me say A plus B. So when I say A plus B, it is going to give a 30. But I wanted to give 10 plus 20 equals to 30. So in order to give that, A comma plus comma B, just observe up to here what it is giving. So A plus B equals to A plus B is coming, and comma equals comma A plus B. Now you can see A plus B equals to 30. The same thing, I'm just going to take A minus B. You can see minus 10. and multiplied and division modulus. You can see like this, we can have a arithmetic operations if you wanted to do it. In the same way, the comparison operators I wanted to take. Same A equals to 10, B equals to 20. Print of A comma operator equals to comma B. So what it is going to give, just observe. A equals to 10. Sorry, A equals to, B equals to A equals to B means 10 equals to 20. Let's give an arrow. And then I wanted to say A equals to B. So it is going to give either true or false. This is a condition. I'm just trying to show the conditions here. It's a false. The same way you can try others. So I have a greater than and A greater than B. So A greater than B, 20, 10 greater than 20 is false. And less than it is true. Now, if this condition is satisfied, I wanted to print something. Then definitely you need to go for if. Then you have to specify the condition. Condition is always going to be with comparison operators. Okay, so we are going to have a condition. As discussed, we are going to have a column name, operator, and value. So that we are going to use it. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the condition here. If A greater than B, colon, print of A comma is greater than B. In the else block, I'm just going to take else. So when you take a else, you have to take the colon. Print of A comma is not greater than B. Just execute it. 10 is not greater than 20. Is everyone with me? How I'm writing these conditions?
Yeah.
Yes, Bhaskar.
Okay. So this is a conditional statements. Okay, so in place of this print statement in the data factory, we use the copy activity sometimes. If you remember, copy activity we have used. If it is failed, we use delete activity in one of the use case. So that is how we can do even in the database. So if condition is important. So like this, I have many examples with that. You can just have a look on it. So while loop also, there are many options I just given, but I'll take you through in a simple way to understand. Let's say, for example, I wanted to print first 10 numbers, 1 to 10 numbers, I wanted to print it. Then you have to use the print statement, print of 1, So like this, you have to print 10 times. But 10 times printing with the same, with print function is not much recommended. Okay, so you have to repeat that loop. The loop is going to be repeated. Let's say, for example, I have a name equals to Bhaskar. So I wanted to print this name 10 times. If I execute, it is going to print 1 time. If I need it 10 times, then I have to keep this many times. Let's take example for 5 times. So I just gave the 5 times, so 5 times it is going to be printed. But I don't want to execute this print statement 5 times individually. I wanted to write only 1 time, but execution 5 times I wanted to do it. Then you need to have a loop. So loops are important. If you don't have a loop, then you cannot execute multiple times. So that is what even we discussed the same thing with the for each activity in the data factory. So for each activity, the copy activity will be executed multiple times. As many number of items are coming into the for each activity, that many times the activities were repeated. In the same way, I wanted to repeat the print statement multiple times. Then in data factory, we have only for each activity. We have only for each activity, but when it comes to the Databricks, we have a while loop also. So while loop also we are going to have it. It is very important. At the same time, it supports for infinity loop also. Infinity loop also it is going to support. We'll see. So my requirement is 5 times. 5 times I wanted to print it. To print 5 times, what I can do is while, then condition you have to give it. Condition, let's say a equals to 1 and a less than or equal to 5 colon print of name. Okay, so I wanted to print the name. How many times? If this condition is satisfied, then come out of it. I mean to say, if condition is not satisfied, then come out of the loop. If condition is satisfied, just go through the loop. Okay, and you have to make sure a equals to a plus 1. If you don't give a equals to a plus 1, then it is going to be infinite loop. So what happens here is, we already specified name equals to Bhaskar and a equals to 1. These two variables we already declared. And I'm giving while a less than or equal to 5. So a value is 1. 1 less than or equal to 5. Condition is satisfied. Then print statement will be executed. So print will be given Bhaskar. And a equals to a plus 1. A equals to a plus 1 means what is the value of a? 1 plus 1. So 2 will be assigned to the a. Now a value is 2. So again this a will go to here. Now a equals to 2. That means 2 less than or equal to 5. Okay, so 2 less than or equal to 5. Condition is satisfied. So Bhaskar will be printed again. And a equals to a plus 1. So a is 2. So 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 will be assigned to a. Now the next condition is 3 less than or equal to 5. Then again Bhaskar is printed. A equal to a plus 1. A equal to 3 plus 1. That is 4. So 4 is assigned to a. So again one more condition. 4 less than or equal to 5. Condition is satisfied. Bhaskar is printed. And a equals to a plus 1. A is 4. 4 plus 1. 5. And 5 is there in the a. And 5 less than or equal to 5. And again Bhaskar is printed. And then a equals to a plus 1. A is 5. 5 plus 1, 6. Now it is checking the condition 6 less than or equal to 5. Condition is failed. It will come out of the loop. Is everyone with me?
Yeah, yes, boss.
So just execute this. I can see 5 times is executed. So if the condition is failed, it will come out of it. If the condition is satisfied, it iterates the loop. Now I wanted to print 1 to 10 numbers. I wanted to print 1 to 10 numbers. So if you want to print, you can specify the list of items here. List equals to, not list, you can go with while loop. While let's say I equals to 1, I less than or equal to 10, colon, print of I. Print of I and I equals to I plus 1. Let's execute it. Now you can see. So here how exactly it is working? I equals to 1 and I'm checking 1 less than or equal to 10. So condition is satisfied, I'm just printing I. So every time I'm just adding 1 to the I so that I'm getting the 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, so here I'm just writing this one. Write Python code to print 1 to 10 numbers. Now I'll give one task. You just try from your side. Write a Python code to print even numbers. How can you do it?
Model.
Sorry.
Modular division or something.
Okay.
Divided by 2, then it is 0. Okay. Give me some time. I'll do it.
Yeah, you can please. Anyone, you can try. You can give just pseudocode, not exactly. So this kind of questions they will ask you in the interview. The simple questions. They don't ask you to write too many lines of the code.
Or Fibonacci numbers or
No, they don't ask that kind of questions because we are not going to be Python developers.
Mhm.
Okay, for if you're a Python developers, definitely they're going to ask.
Uh,
Okay, let me try from my side. So first you need to get the 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, so within the 1 to 10 numbers only, I wanted to get the even numbers. Write a Python code to get the even numbers between 1 to 10. Okay, so that we can have a range. Now what I wanted to do is I need to use I equals to 1 while, so I need to iterate up to 10 numbers, right? So I need to take I less than or equal to 10, colon, print of I. That is what we have seen. I equals to I plus 1. So it is going to give the numbers 1 to 10. But I need only even numbers. Inside this while, you need to have a if condition. If I modulus 2, I modulus 2 equals to 0, colon, print of I. You have to print inside the if condition. And I plus 1, you are going to be there outside of your if. Just execute now, you can see even numbers. Is everyone agree? So I'm just looping 1 to 10 numbers. First one number is taking, and I'm checking is that even number or not by taking modulus. So if remainder is 0, then that is an even number, else it is an odd number. So I'm not taking odd numbers. I'm just taking a even numbers. Okay, so now I wanted to print the numbers in the list. Something like this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this is what I'm expecting the output. How can you do it? And add them to the list variable. How can you do that? So in order to add them to the list, first you need to have a list variable. How can you declare the list? Empty list.
Square brackets.
Yeah, with square bracket, we are going to declare it. LST equals to empty. That is an empty list. And then I equals to 1. While I less than or equal to 10, colon. Inside that, I'm just taking if I modulus 2 equals to 0, colon. Instead of taking print, I'm taking lst dot append. We have come across list dot append function to append a item to the list. So what I wanted to append, I wanted to append the I, because I is having the number. Okay, and I'm just going to print my list. Just execute it. It's taking much time.
Does it went to?
That is not assigned. No?
Ah, yes,
Ah,
that is infinite loop came.
Yeah.
ah.
So here after appending I equals to I plus 1.
Not in the if condition.
Yes,
In the while.
perfect.
Yeah.
Now you can see. Okay. Now you can do the odd numbers. You can do whatever the conditions you're having with the while loop, you can try. So there are many examples that I have given. You can try from your side. With all these are the conditions only. So modulus is there. Okay. And now I'm just going to give one more task here. First 5 numbers total, I wanted to take it. Okay, so write a Python code to get first 5 numbers total. Take these 5 numbers from 1 to 10. So from 1 to 10, I wanted to take that 5 numbers, and you can go for total of that 5 numbers. So same I equals to 1 while I less than or equal to 10 colon, and then I'll get 10 numbers, but I need only 5 numbers. So I need to use the if condition. If I less than or equal to 5 colon, then I wanted to add this 5 numbers. Okay, so
You
I need to
can
declare
create
one
a
more variable,
variable and then
v total equals to 0.
0.
So here I'm just giving v total equals to v total plus I,
Plus I. It will work.
and I equals to I plus 1, not
In the
I,
while clause.
that is here in the while. And v total we need to print after completion of this loop, print of v total. So 15 has to come. Okay, so like this you can write it. Any question as of now? Do you feel this coding is difficult?
No.
The small things, it is not difficult.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, but if you can understand this, then you can easily understand others also.
But Bhaskar, I don't understand why we use tuple when we can use list and
See, tuple,
add all the.
why I'm talking about the tuple is when you're going to deal with the RDD in the database, you're going to have a tuple. Key value pair will be there. This will be there in the tuple. So key value pair always in the tuple. And RDD is also immutable object. And your tuple also immutable.
But for key value, we can use dictionary also, no?
You can also use dictionary. But most of the times, I came across with RDD when we go for
Because
RDD.
in dictionary, we can use key value, no?
You can use even dictionary also.
Mm-hmm.
You can use in the dictionary also, but when it comes to the RDD, we used to go with the tuple only, tuple style. It's not a tuple, but the tuple style we used to write it.
Okay.
When you go for unstructured data processing, we are going to use this RDD. So key value pair is required.
Okay.
Only one key will be there and one value will be there.
Got it.
Okay. Now, another thing, very important thing is, so we have seen the while loop, right? And how can you say that is a infinite loop is? When you say while true, then it is always going to be infinite loop. It will not come out of it. You have to stop, you have to interrupt it. So true means you can say 1 equal to 1 also is a true. So if the condition is always true, then it is going to be there in the while. If you want to come out of this while, then you have to use the break. Okay, so the break depends on the condition. You can come out of the break. Okay, so that kind of statements are given here with the break somewhere. You can see here. So break wherever you wanted to break, you can break. Let's say, let me take an example so that you can understand. We have seen the while loop, right? While loop with infinite. while I'm just taking 1 equals to 1 colon. If I say print of Bhaskar, it is going to print continuously. If you can see it is always going to print it. You have to interrupt it. But without interrupting, I wanted to stop this. Okay, so I wanted to stop this. When I wanted to stop this is, let me give some I equals to 1. Once I have printed 5 times, then I wanted to break it. So inside this I equals to I plus 1, I'm taking. If I less than or equal to 5, I greater than or equal to 5, then break. If not, do not break it. So this break will be executed only if this condition is satisfied. Just execute this. Now you can see it is coming out of it. So whenever you want it to come out of it, you can use the break when you have an infinite kind of loops. So if you don't have an infinite loop, once this condition is failed, then it is going to come out of it. But here this condition is always getting satisfied. So if you have an infinite loop, if you want to come out of it for some with some condition, then you can use the break statement. So if this condition is satisfied, then break means it is going to break your while loop. You got my point, right? And other very, very important is for loop. So this is very, very important. Okay, so we came across this kind of situations many times for loop. And this is equivalent to for each activity in the data factory. For each activity, we can call this in the data factory. Let's say, for example, I'm just going to have a list equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I wanted to print 1 by 1. Print of list is going to get. So the way the list is having, in the same way it is printing. But I wanted to print this value something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. I wanted to print it. Then you have to go for loop. For I, you have to specify item dot name. We have come across it, right? That I indicates the same thing. I in list LST colon print of I. So you're getting my point, right? Here I'm just taking, if I remember, item dot name we have taken. Okay, so item dot name we have taken from the for each activity. So here for each activity is nothing but this list you can take. So list is having collection of items. From the collection of items, I wanted to take I. So 1 by 1 item, I wanted to print it. So you have to remember this syntax for then variable name in list. So this variable you can declare anything you can give. You can give X, you can give Y, you can give anything. So here I'm taking I. I'm just taking is I available in the list. Okay, so what happens is it is going to take 1 by 1 item from the list. So first item will be taken from the list, will be assigned to the I, and I will be printed. In the second iteration, I will be 2 will be assigned to the I, and I will be printed. So as many number of items are there in the list is going to be iterated by using the for loop. By using the for loop, we can iterate it. You cannot use the while loop here. So while loop is going to have a conditional based, but here I'm just iterating through the items of this list. So list is going to have a collection of items. If I execute now, it is going to print 1 to 10 vertically here. Is everyone with me? How we can print it? Now I wanted to take only even numbers. I wanted to print only even numbers. Here I'm just going to say if I modulus 2 equals to 0 colon print statement. Now it is going to print only even numbers. This list also I don't want to print, I don't want to enter the values for this. I don't want to enter the values for this. So I wanted to give the values like this. List equals to, let's say range, there is an object called range, 0, 0 comma 11, 1 comma 11 is going to give the range object. This range object is not possible to access, I mean to say 1 to 10 is there, but you cannot read. To read it, you need to convert this into list. Now, if you execute this, it's going to have a 1 to 10 numbers. Now you can replace this values with the range and list. You're converting this range object into the list object. Now just execute it and you can see the same result. If you wanted to get the odd numbers, I'm just going to change this from 0 to 1. Then you are going to get the odd numbers. Okay, you just try for creating a code to get first 5 even numbers. Okay, so I'll just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of all these 10 numbers, so just take only only even numbers. Plus, 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 plus 10. So only even numbers total, you just write program to get even numbers of this 1 to 10 numbers and total of odd numbers from 1 to 10. So in that case, you are going to take this value plus, 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 and plus. You got my point, right? What I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, just try it from your side. That is one thing. And I think for loop is also fine. And from this list is there, right? To just I wanted to keep all the odd numbers in one list and all even numbers in another list. Okay, so we know that for I in LST colon print of I is going to print all the numbers, but I wanted to take only odd numbers into one list. So then you need to specify odd list or even list equals to and odd list equals to empty list. Two empty lists, I'm just keeping it. And then here I'm going to say if I modulus 2 equals to 0 colon, then I wanted to append the items to the list, to the even list dot append. In the append, I'm just going to give I. In the else block, you'll be having all our odd numbers only, right? So I'm just going to take odd list dot append I. Let's come out of the for loop and print off even list and print off odd list. Just execute this and you can see. Okay. Any question as of now? So when you have a list of items, you can use the while loop, you can use the for loop. Sorry, you can use if condition, else. So depends on the situation, you have to play around it. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about custom functions. So if something which is not possible with the existed functions with the data frame API or with Python functions, then we need to create a custom functions. So when we go for creating a custom functions, that we are going to talk on tomorrow. Okay. So I'm stopping here. If you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, then let me stop here. We'll send tomorrow.